I do have to say that the Marauder would have been nice to have that attack speed boost into the Will-O-Wisp. If Will-O-Wisp would have been something to come out in the mid game, but yeah, Crystal Maiden gives you that
Okay.
little mana juice as well for Earthshaker, which you can't hate on.
I've seen a little of this hero in other regions. Tell me, what is the status right now of IO Core? Why do we
In
not see
NA,
that in NA at all?
I mean, Arteezy was spamming it for a while, but it was not going so well for him. And
I,
hard to
Because
say.
Morphling
when
IO, like even with the core IO, is pretty crazy as well.
now this doesn't speak to core IO specifically, but when we brought up that stats piece that we just aired, and if you missed it, go check out the on stats Knoxville piece. IO was mentioned as something picked in many other regions, but not NA. None of the clips were aired on that, but when I asked players about it, they just said that a lot of teams have been running Wisp in their scrims, but they'll just decide right then and there that it's not something for their lineup, and they will not pull it out. So most of these top teams have tried it, but they have seen themselves that it just doesn't work for them, and they just pass on it altogether. I thought another theory was like something Jenkins mentioned before, with something like Darkseer, is that you need to have good companions and people to work with in your pubs to make these kind of heroes work, and you don't get that in NA very often, so you don't get a lot of practice very often.
It's
But
true.
either way, we're not seeing Wisp like you're talking about too often.
Wow. This is greedy. I mean, I should have realized that with Zoomers that like or with this Morphling, like of course it's going to be Gunner Morph. And they respond with the Shadow Fiend. Okay.
I mean, if you go for like this, like we've seen some variation with the Morphling when they get the Ags, right? But for Zoomers, it's pretty much like one of those immediate pickups, it feels like, because it's a mid morph. It's not like this Manta, E-Blade. You're not going for the super damage first. It's just you're the mid laner. It's completely different. But against the Shadow Fiend can be pretty tough because of the Rays stacking up of damage. I'm really surprised I got Rubik third, by the way. We talked about that being a potential second pick because it's so good against 4 Zoomers, and I still get it in the second
They
phase.
prioritized the Earth Spirit and the Nyx as bans instead, and left the Rubik out there. But I'm sure that had to be something they've seen. I mean, again, if we're calling out Rubik to come, I imagine the teams were privy to it and just decided that the Earth Spirit and Nyx were more valuable.
Yeah, I mean, Rubik's actually really nice against Morphling too. This is definitely like other than Lion, but this is like a dog shit hero, so people don't really pick it much. Like I would say, as an offlaner, Rubik is probably the hero that I kill Morphling with the most because like if he gets caught out at low HP, like Rubik just insta lifts and then zaps, and like with +1 damage, like an SF or Beastmaster axes even or Roar, like it's enough to kill a Morphling just with the Rubik like catching him out. And it's not like it's a huge commitment for Rubik to walk up and lift. Like that's what Rubik does anyway, right? So this hero's actually really nice against Morph just because of the instant stun and burst.
All right. We look to the one position to come for Undying side, the Tomato hero. They ban out the Medusa, and now you know you're going to be going against a PA in the late game. So you consider what is going to fight up against that. Jug is still out there. Just something Tomato has pulled out in the past, but don't know the track record for Jug usually to have it go toe-to-toe against PA.
So we do have a Coddle in lane. So possibly we want to make some sort of like consideration with like what can we actually combo with this. Ursa comes to mind as really solid, and Earthshaker is the other hero that you're going to be laning against. So you can jump over the Fissure, and of course it's a melee hero. You can possibly kill him. We'll see what this actually Zoomers gets last pick, so they're going to last pick their offlaner, which is kind of strange. It's not what well,
Would you ever safe lane a Medusa?
yeah, you can safe lane Dusa for sure.
So we've seen 4 Zoomers pick it a lot. Obviously, they're not going to be picking it here, but how is that versus this lineup here? Because it's been complete. Oh wait, it was banned. Sorry, second to last.
I mean, good call. They thought it was good as well. Yeah, Jug. Okay. I mean, this is the hero. It's like Weaver and Jug. These are the heroes that Undying have picked in the majority of their games. It's almost always Tomato Jug. It's such a generic hero. Like, you can always build some sort of evasion piercing, but with an SF, I don't even know if you need evasion piercing for the PA, because you can just kill her with magic damage.
I remember tuning in briefly, I think, to Mason's game. I think I rewatched Mason's Quincy versus EG take, and when Jug was brought up, he mentioned it's like, who even counters Jug, really? you know, it's like hard to find a real bad matchup for someone like a Jug. He seems like the most well-rounded core in the game right now.
I like how Brax still gets his last pick off lane.
Why does he do this? He always picks himself something bad too. Like
yeah, that's the problem. Like so many things are just taken out of the pool. Like I don't know what's good here. I was thinking Underlord, but you're like.
He's gonna be like Mars or
can
something,
take down
dude.
Anybody.
He's gonna be like
please no Mars. No more Brax. Brax, I love you.
Commander.
No more Mars.
Oh! Yo, let's go. Zoomers.
Wow.
Wait, is this offlane Earthshaker then? No. Okay.
Woo!
So position 3 Dazzle. I am ready for this. Holy shit.
Are you ready enough to back 4 Zoomers on this?
Probably not. But I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All
Their team bundle's coming soon. TM guys. I worked on that one, so gotta support my boys. I don't know what the hell this Dazzle pick is, but I like it for just because of the craziness. So I'll go 4 Zoomers.
Jenkins?
I'm gonna go Undying. I'm gonna say I don't see how Dazzle beats. I don't see how Dazzle beats a Jug. You just spin off the queue, and if you try to push the lane, you're pushing into a damn Cuddle. Good luck. Yeah, Undying wins this one, I think.
All right,
great
awesome stuff. Very curious to hear what our casters have to say about this one. We're going to get into a break, but when we do come back, we have Trent, GoDz, and special guest Aui2000 back joining us on the mic.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got more North American DPC League action, our second of 2 best of 3s for today in the upper division. I believe we have a lower division match after that. At least that's what's normally scheduled, but I've got 2 fine gentlemen here, Aui2000 as well as Trent. How are you guys doing today?
Good, thanks.
Doing great.
Excited for the picks, it sounds like?
I just got a message from Sunsman asking if I saw him cleaning his beard, and he said, oops, meant to message Jenkins. What is this panel doing?
You know, it's fun on when MLP's produced, we get to spy on each other a little bit on the cameras, even when we're off camera. I don't know. I don't have a good segue, but back to this draft. We've got some unusual picks here. Dazzle Core. We've got a Shadowfiend mid. Shadowfiend's been the only team to win with Shadowfiend in North American DPC League is DogChamp. So
okay, so this hero's been played before.
Yeah, 5 times actually.
For the last like 2 years, every time I see a Shadowfiend mid, I just know my mid player wants to swag, but usually in NA they're too bad, so we just lose. I picked the Shadowfiend hero because they feel cool.
You know, I cast Shadowfiend the other day. I was casting with PPD, and he said the exact same thing.
Yes,
and
he's
sure
a
enough,
very
Shadowfiend
cool
lost.
hero to lose with.
Yeah. It's been a staple of most of the DPC games. I never feel good about the SF pick.
Yeah, I think the draft it feels like, I'm not too sure. I don't play as much Dota as these guys anymore, but like some of the picks felt odd to me. Like you pick Juggernaut, and like you're against Morphling and PA cores, which I'll talk about 4 Zoomers lineup after, but like those are 2 of the heroes that are actually good versus Juggernaut, I think, right? Because you can't almost slash either of them. You have like Waveform, and then you have Blur and Blink Strike. So generally, like unless you have like some sort of push strat with them, which they do have, so I think the Juggernaut might be like more of a response to the slow tempo of 4 Zoomers lineup. I don't know about this Morphling PA cores.
Yeah, that feels one thing with Shaker Morph is it does take a long time to come online. It is pretty greedy.
That part does, but they've also shown in the past, like, Gunner on the Morphling gets very active in a lot of games, too. Yeah. To the point where, like, I'm not even, like, thinking about Morphling Shaker in this lineup in the sense of, like, yeah, it'll come eventually, but, like, it feels more like a bonus.
Yeah, I mean,
with how they typically play it.
So how it works is, like, this Morphling, he has to be their playmaker this game, because they picked a Dazzle, right? Like, Dazzle's not going to rotate and go heal a wave and kill someone. So, like, they have to make early rotations on mid. And then, luckily, like, Undying have a Shadowfiend, so their game plan's actually not bad. It's just, like, if Morphling doesn't get rotated for and he doesn't win his lane, then I don't think their game plan works. But they have Shaker CM against Shadowfiend, so hopefully they identify that. I mean, it's like okay, but like when you're conditioned to even just play the game is like that, like it's really hard.
Yeah, they're definitely impressive at doing it. Like it's an extremely active Morphling. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna say that's like part of 4 Zoomer strength, right?
Yeah.
Like they do like making those moves, but I personally don't like playing top lane on Moon.
Yeah, going on Moon, he should survive through this one.
Yeah, he was ready for this lane. There I start with a stick and a fairy fire.
Yeah,
that's nice when your core solves you. Sorry.
No, they definitely seem to have something crafty going on though once they pick this PA though, right? Because I mean they've seen the off lane, so like yeah, you can make the argument of like picking your safe lane too, but they really wanted this last pick for Brax. So I mean so far, Yeah, I'm sure this doesn't really ramp up until you get like multiple points and like the poison touch and the wave, but so far it's looking kind of all right down here for them.
Yeah,
To
it
be
doesn't
honest,
seem like anyone's pulling
Sorry,
away
go
in
ahead.
any of these specific lanes right
Yeah,
now.
I thought Shaker Dazzle was going to apply a lot more pressure in the first waves. I think something happened to their equilibrium that wasn't good bottom. Because I'm pretty sure if you double fissure block and then you double wave into the jug, I don't think the Caudal Blast enough to like D-push it, or at least like Caudal should have had to take a lot more CS.
They did double wave it, but it was like into the fissure for quite a duration where and then he like looped around in the trees.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they tried to go for the kill with like a shadow wave because he was stacked in like all the creeps, but the shadow wave was still on cooldown. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's just a bit because like they let both the camps spawn bottom, like both of Undying's camps, and like generally you don't want both the camps to spawn if you're planning on pressuring early.
Yeah, Ocean's doing a good job since then of keeping this big camp blocked down bottom, while Tomato and Dubu are kind of pushing this lane out, so they won't have that big camp pull to rely on, just the small camp. Taking a look at some of these other lanes, mid lane Shadow Fiend has been up in Morphling's face constantly, had an early bottle, bought a few mangoes, has a null queued up, he is just spamming Gunner anytime Gunner comes near. And that's, I guess, kind of the idea of the Shadow Fiend pick, is that it theoretically is a lane matchup advantage against the Morphling.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice versus Morphling. Like all game even, you can kill this guy.
It's nice with how much punish he gets when he waveforms in for those range creeps. Because like some mids that they like don't even have a way to do anything, but like here he's getting off like multiple raises when he does that.
He's just
Not so much this
I would
time,
say
though.
Browsbing, yeah. He thought about going for the raises, and I think realized that was not going to work out well for him.
Ooh, nice bottle refill. This is like the attention they need to put on mid lane, right? Like they had the Shaker poured in, he's checking the rune for him, refilling the bottle. You need to win this mid lane. He's your only tempo in the game.
Yeah, he just walked home for that, right? Like, I mean, usually you die for that play, right? As Shaker, but that was like
Yeah.
a straight up, I'm going to be home
Like-
in time for a 4-minute TP.
It's good, but like his bot lane's starting to suffer, I think. Like the Stazzle's level 3 and Jug's already level 4. And they're gonna get like free pulls off on the Radiant side.
Our blade is swifter.
So like usually when the enemy has a Beastmaster, there are two ways that teams think of dealing with it. Like one is you can put a lot of pressure on him in lane. They're going top
on him.
actually.
Yeah, that's. I guess this is a way to directly deal with him. Get a first blood on him. Saberlight goes down. Moon's got 6 charges and a Fairy Fire, but he could be in a little bit of
Dead, I
trouble.
think.
Yeah.
Q.
Oh,
Jukes him.
nice fog of war from him.
Yeah.
I think like so that's the first way, right? Like that's the most obvious way. The other way is like you have one of these Kunkka type heroes where whenever Beastmaster tries to push your tower pressure carry, you just waddle up there and you kill him. And traditionally, like Morphling isn't one of those heroes, but I didn't expect Beastmaster to die in this lane, to be honest. I think Rubik Beast should be like pretty fine in this lane at drawing it, but it looks like 4 Zoomers are playing the lane really well. Like Sammy Boy's doubling up on CS with kill and CM, that they're gonna have really good games from top.
Yeah, and the slower the Necrobook is, then the worse that pushes across that top lane. And then you start seeing that smoke over and over again, right? Like, they just like keep invading and chasing you out of there.
Yeah, like we kind of mentioned how Brax was having a tough time, but he's now hit his level 4.5, almost, has his Necrobook up, whereas Beastmaster is, a good 500 gold further away from his Necrobook. So it feels like of the two offlaners, 4 Zoomers getting a bit more.
Especially considering the Earthshaker went to help mid, right? Like it's sort of like some how you dedicate your resources in the early game. Like Brax is doing pretty well given the resources dedicated to him, and I think 4 Zoomers top lane are doing better given like they didn't use any additional resources, but they still got a first blood and like
Gonna go
Beastmaster's
Brax
like,
bottom.
Yeah, it's a
Tomato
combo.
with the spin, Brax gonna get brought down. Perhaps gonna go in for a TP there. I'm not sure if he had the mana to actually go for it, but while that happens,
is this how it
Undying
works?
gonna
Like
go mid.
you say something nice about someone and they just die?
Yeah, that's we call that the caster curse. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very strong.
Yeah, first this Beastmaster, now the Dazzle. What's going on here?
There's a level 3 Beastmaster trying to hit mid tower, and Gunner's playing it like extremely well. He has that regen rune, so he's okay tanking some creeps, but he pulled the creeps all the way to the bottom right, so the tower would focus away again. Like these heroes can't tank a tier 1, and they're going mid.
Oh,
Yeah,
what a
this is that
disaster.
level 3 Beastmaster you mentioned is suddenly like, why am I in the mid lane? What am I doing here? Gunner just going to go in and, with the help of Ocean, get a kill.
I feel like if you have Morphling mid and PA safe lane, like you shouldn't be expecting to be able to win those lanes. Like, so part of the problem with like expecting CM or Earthshaker to be able to rotate mid is it should weaken your side lanes, right? You guys can sort of just imagine like if you leave a beast
Yeah.
for PA, you know who should win that. But instead, like this PA is level 6, this Beastmaster, he's almost level 4. But like that's not what you need. Like if Beastmaster could stay top, he's the same level as PA, like CM would not be able to rotate mid there. Beastmaster would literally kill the top tower.
Tomato Oh, he hit stick, but the wave was coming. Good call, not going in. That was very tempting.
They are going to pressure this tier 1 tower, though, with the siege creep. Just looking to spam it out a bit. That's... I guess they've just given up on this top lane. They're going to let this PA free farm. The lane didn't go according to plan, so instead focus their efforts around this Jug, who is level 6 now, so he's pretty strong.
I mean, Undying are doing the right thing. They're like rallying around the strong lane, which is bottom. But I think it's hard to get this tower, and even if they get that offlane tower, it won't really do anything for them this game. Like, Juggernaut's already a wall this game. You're not really going to kill this guy and kick him out and take his tower. So, like, the reason you take this offlane tower is generally the only purpose it gives is it makes it easier to defend your safe lane. So this tower's already defended, so there's not really... Like, you'll get a little bit of gold, but honestly, towers don't give anything in terms of gold right now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice fissure by Ocean.
Nothing anyway. Haste top there for Gunner.
Yeah, I think he's going to waddle top soon. He's going to hold this haste, he'll push out mid, and he'll just TP top and kill this Beastmaster again. Or bot, honestly. You can kill Jug too. The haste, the rune control, this patch is pretty insane.
His treads and the corrosion, so very difficult for Saberlight to come anywhere close up there.
Yeah, Brax gets slowed bottom, but it doesn't look like Undying want to hard commit on him. Perhaps knowing that Gunner can TP on that Morphling, so it looks like they're just playing a little bit less aggressive down bottom in these other lanes.
I actually really like what you said there. Like, he has this haste rune, and I'm talking about like making a play with it, but honestly, if he just sits mid with it and farms a lot, like Undying have no plays. Oh, item?
Did that get
Chip
sniped?
vest stolen from by Samuel, I think.
Yep. That was killed by the Radiant. He stole it. Now the rotation top is going to come from Gunner with that haste rune. They waveform down the Rubik. Next in line could be Saberlight. There is an attempted Requiem from Bra, but he's just not in close enough as Gunner is just wrecking them with this haste rune. The Requiem going to get pump fake cancelled. Gunner just juking away from with that haste. Waveform in again, doing a lot of damage. Yeah, Gunner's going to be a little careful. Doesn't have any points in the adaptive, but yeah, he's good. He's got backup, and he's in a kind of 3v1 here. Ocean's got another fissure. He's going, thinking about going for the Requiem. Nice Omni Slash coming in from the Jug. He's rotated in. He's found Ocean alone. Bursts him down. Husky just going to look for a TP out. Gets away before the telekinesis comes up, and Gunner will just retreat on out of there. So, bit of an even trade in the end, it feels like.
I gotta say, like, I really did not like 4Zoomer's lineup, but because they had like very specific conditions, I thought, to do well in this game. But they're playing really well. Like, that rotation, like, it ended up sort of even, but Brax is catching up. They're pressuring bot tower. The wall that I said, like, nothing can force this Juggernaut out. The only way that you deal with that is that you force him to another lane. Like, they're diving to tier 1, but they're honestly not overcommitting. Like, none of the cores died, and now Juggernaut's top. Like, now this bot tower is vulnerable. They should try to dive the Scotto.
Wow, is level 10 here, though. I mean,
yeah, he's pretty Chad.
He is huge.
Yeah, he was farming a lot of jungle camps while the Morphling was just kind of protecting the mid-tier 1 towers, so... I guess just typical SF things in some ways.
That is kind of crazy, though. Like, what a benefit of this hero that is that he can go into the jungle, be level 10 right now, and he gave up his mid lane to the Beastmaster and the Rubik. They've essentially been sharing it this whole time.
Yeah, really good play out of Brow. Honestly, this Beastmaster had no game. Like, SF, even though he wasn't moving stuff, like, he completely salvaged Saberlight's game.
Yeah.
Nice play from
You can
Brax
see
bottom.
4 Zoomers. They're making that rotation to bottom. They should kick the Scott out and kill this tower.
Yeah, Brax even dodged the Illuminate on his Necrobook, seeing it coming out. So Dubu's trying to keep his tower alive as long as possible.
It's a
similar
sick
play happening
coddle.
top.
Like, is there a recall play here at all? I mean, there's no
I think it's hard.
Sammy's cutting trees.
Yeah, Sammy's doing the right play. He used Blur, he's cutting into the trees. They're going to find this guy. Yeah. I've played like 4 Zoomers like 15 times, and I hit in that spot in the trees every time. They always look out.
So it's your fault that he died, is what I'm hearing. Dubu can just blame you.
True. I mean, so they traded towers, which is like, as Tomato, he TP top, and that's what you want to do. But honestly, when your carry TP's top, and you have a Beastmaster, it actually feels very awkward, because Beastmaster is the type of hero that wants to stay in that top lane and keep pressuring the tower and getting really fat. But typically, that's also what your carry does. And usually how teams resolve that is like, they treat Beastmaster as more of a carry, but since his game is so bad, like, they can't really give him that priority right now.
Ooh, they dropped the sword as they're coming in through mid.
Yeah, they're both still smoked here, and now Gunner's going to rotate on over as well. Fissure doesn't actually block Saberlight, so doesn't look like they're going to go for the kill. It's going to just clean up some Necrobooks.
Nice steal on Rubik. Very tanky.
Oh, Requiem, down bottom river. Brio gonna solo kill Brax here. That's the kind of reveal of the Yule Scepter. I think it might have been spotted mid, but Brio is gonna start getting a bit more involved now that he's got this Yule's Requiem play.
Yeah, that's a good kill. I mean, the way that Shadow Fiend works now is like, you have to get pretty much 1 to 2 kills on all of your timings, right? Like you get this Eos, you get the BKB, maybe you get the Blink. Every item you get, you need to kill a hero. And that's why typically like the hero's sort of unreliable. Like he's a very stable mid and laning, he'll always get his farm, really strong in lane, etc. But like he's very dependent on the moves happening in your favor.
Jump top, Sammy looking to go on Moon with Ocean's backup. They throw out the fissure. Sammy looking for a crit here. He can't find one. Husky shows up with the Nova, so Moon, no role play for him. He was just in a bit too deep, looking to steal a fissure, it looked like.
Yeah, Tomatoes is gonna get pulled out of there. Yeah, this game is pretty annoying for Saberlight. Just pulling this jug to whoever Beastmaster is. It's like, you know, I would like to hit these creeps, you know.
Tomato finds an Omni-Slash target. Yep. Dazzle's there to help tank it up, though, and now he's going to be forced into a spin play. Ocean? Okay, yeah, like you say, no point in Grave. Tomato's used both his spells, so he's got no Blade Fury or Omni-Slash. They kind of baited him in. They need to deal with this healing ward. They can't get to it, though, so Tomato going to heal himself back up, and Saberlight with a nice raw rotation from the side. Finds Gunner, and he's low on mana here. He's going to have to find a way to maybe wand into waveform out of here, but I don't think he's going to do it. Gunner just
close.
dead as well. Great play from Undying.
Man, that's 25 seconds till his ulti's back up here, too. So Bra can go hunting again very soon. Might even get a rune with it here at 14, because they're not going to be there to contest them.
Yeah, it feels weird though, right? Because for Zoomers, they last picked this Dazzle. Like the 2 lanes they picked early are the lanes that I thought went above expectations, and then they just last picked this hero, and honestly, he's been sort of a burden on the map. Like, I don't think this hero's contributed much, and he doesn't have a play in Grave yet, so they couldn't even turn around that fight. Meanwhile, like, you can see Undying's lineup, like, they're starting to come together. Like, they coordinated it well to deal with, like, what I thought was their lanes going a bit worse than they should have. Like, Saberlight's pretty much caught up now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or good enough.
I mean, it
He's
shows
gonna do
why
things.
he's such a good hero, too, right? Like, the aura is just so valuable, and even if your game's going poorly, you're going to be getting all this vision from your summons, and then he's always going to build into the Necro 3, too. And, I mean, obviously, that's the one thing Brax does, but...
You just have the point-and-click stun, too, which is, like, a very useful skill, you know?
Yeah. Oh, he stopped off from the BKB. Went for the blink first.
Yeah, I honestly sort of like that. Like, Brow's looking to swag pretty hard this game. He has, like, over 10 CS a minute. At this point, he's really farmed. But when you get this blink, like, he's looking to get 1 kill with it again. And then, you know, you go for the next item. Maybe you get a pick off if it's free, but as long as he keeps getting those picks, I think this blink will go really well.
He's committing to the hero pick here. Keeping with the swag.
He can kill Gunner really easily. I think Gunner's dead here, actually.
He's going to show himself, and I think we're going to see that blink heals. Oop, gets
He
it.
got
His morphing strength. That's going to make him a whole lot tankier, and Bryle doesn't go for the Requiem.
Probably just because he saw the morphing.
I think he like second-guessed himself there. Like, I think he tried to click him while he's in use, but honestly, like, I think he should have just Requiemed him. Like, I'm not high skill enough to do that, so I just use and Requiem at them and hope for the best. But honestly, with Beastmaster Rubik there, I think they could have killed the Morphling.
Well, Gunner will live to survive and hit another creep for now, and Roshan is the play. I think Undying recognize how strong they are. They've got all this map control, the Hawks, the Summons, the Necrobooks, and the Jug in the pit. Very safe Roche with the healing ward, so nothing Vorzimus can do about this except farm the other side of the map.
It is a really smart Roshan. Like, it's what you said, basically, right? They're running PA Morph Dazzle cores. Like, we're sort of talking about the start of the game, but, like, unless this Morphling wins his lane really hard and makes the moves, like, I don't see who's making moves. You can see, like, in the last however minutes is it, they've really gotten punished for that.
Yep. Bryle just shows up. He's not looking to overcommit. Even with the Aegis, he doesn't want to go for any kind of a Requiem play. Wants to hold on to it and just take these tier 2 towers. Because towers are dropping fast on the Forzoomer side, and that's when I feel like this game can get out of hand, because there is not enough farm to go around for a PA and a Morph lane.
Brax, bottom.
Yeah, Brax. Oh, Coddle dies in the mid lane. Sammy Boy gets a kill there, and they have caught up to the Dazzle. Bryle gonna throw out some raises, and Brax is gonna turn and fight. How's got a TP? Yeah, okay. Great TP. No, nothing to cancel.
Ocean 2, oh my god. Did you just see that? Oh. Ocean was mid-fighting the Beastmaster of the Rubik. He starts TPing out in front of their face. Narrowly gets out with a Centaur stomping directly after. Almost got killed by it. Big saves.
It feels like in some ways Forzumers are just going to be like all in to try and buy time for this Morphling Ags to come online and then just start doing, you know, Ags Morphling plus PA BKB things.
There it is. The Imp Claw. Doesn't that come
Ooh,
back
that
with the
is a
axes
juicy
there?
item.
That's the Morph Shaker item.
I will say though, like the Morph Shaker nerf was pretty big. Like the
Yeah,
thing
and
about
it's a
Morph Shaker
PA.
before was the cast range on the jump was so stupid. But now they nerfed that by 300 on the Morphling eggs, so that's really big for him.
How do you fix it? There's a way to fix it, right?
Fix what?
I'm trying to think, because they buffed. Didn't they change something else with his talent or something? Oh, that was the duration stuff. Never mind.
Yeah.
You have to take the duration talent at 15. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly just, it's very anti-fun combo, so I don't really know. Like, when you play against that stuff, you just feel like there's nothing you can do. It's just permalock. Sammy Boy bot?
Yep.
He's dead.
Fuels, Requiem, couple of raises with a spin. Nothing you can do about that. Just farming a bit too aggressive.
That was like surprisingly close though. He almost got the blink off on CM. I was talking to a skidder, and he told me like the post 10-minute range off on carry is actually really good. I wonder if he would live with that.
I believe it. Raindrops there are crazy, actually. They're so annoying still to play against.
Did they not have Yos or anything for that Morphling mid? That looked pretty weird. Saberlight definitely had Roar, but maybe he thought Brawl had Yos, but he just used it to kill bottom, so he didn't have it yet.
Yeah, and I just like looked over and he was gone. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, a little bit of miscomms there, I think. They're recalling Brawl to bottom.
Yep.
He's going in.
They've got a deep board here. They see
Swagging.
everything. Yeah. Brax is TPing the hell out of there, and they're just going to give up this tower, it looks like. And we're approaching that 20-minute mark, so we could see Undying attempt to go for the double outpost if they can take one of these tier 2 towers. But
Do you think
right
Brax
now-
wanted Necro 3 first this game, or do you think he wanted, like, because this was the strat before when Necro was last when Dazzle was last popular. It was the Necro 1 into the Greaves because of the reduced cooldown with Bad Juju.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure because I haven't seen Dazzle at all, but I feel like if you can get a Necro 3 this patch, it's really good. I mean, the item didn't get changed, right? It's just a hero patch, so the vision the item gives you is really nice. The thing is, like, you have this Morphling PA, and like they're supposed to farm relatively fast and both get really fat, but when you have two heroes like that, there's no one to like make space for that farm, so you end up just farming slower. Like you can see like the Radiant lineup, because of this Beastmaster Hawks, the lane push on supports, like maybe these heroes take, quote-unquote, take farm from their cores, but what actually ends up happening is there are more creeps on the map for you to farm. And as a result, like the 1 and 2 are really pulling ahead on Undying.
Four Zoomers are smoked up, but Undying's going to run right at them. Moon gets a lift on the Ocean. Ocean getting blasted back. They may just have to cut some losses here. Ocean, steals it, immediately gets a 2-hour fissure with a nice high ground ward here. Husky just going for the TP out. He's gonna make it somehow.
Bottom lane?
Bryo finds
Bryo
Sammy.
messed up
Sammy's
the
gonna
spells a
TP
bit
though,
there.
yeah. Can Sammy just go for a TP play? You betcha, yeah. That's the anti-swag play.
Yeah, getting tipped as Shadow Fiend doesn't feel good. That you're not swagging when people are tipping you. At least not you and your opponents are.
Yeah,
Alright, Gunner. It's almost there.
Honestly pretty uncharacteristic of Brawl. I think that's 2 ultimates I would count as like not perfect, and Brawl is typically very good at those types of spellcasting.
One of the problems for Four Zoomers is this Shaker is going to need a couple more. Okay, he just got at level 11 with the experience totem, so he got the 3rd point in totem now. Just a couple minutes ago, he only had 1 point in the totem.
That's a good point, yeah. He needs to, he's so close to Blink too. Like when they get this eggs and the Blink on Shaker, like that's their go time. Right now, like I think Radiant should be running at them. Like they have this Fissure on Rubik, they're really strong right now. Some Aether Lens Fissure.
Plus it's a PA BKB coming. They're going to get 3
Ooh, you're right.
major
That's a
item
huge
upgrades.
timing.
At least Bryle's BKB is done.
Yeah. I mean,
So he can
Radiant
be the
wants
big
to wait for this BKB, and it might be correct, but it's go time very soon. Man,
Correct.
Dazzle.
Yep.
Sag.
Not TPing away from that. So, you know, kind of fulfilling that pseudo space creator role.
Necro's out to
I'd say
chase.
Sammy's rotated up here as if they want to fight on the Four Zoomer side. They know there's no Aegis, so
He just wants to blow up
Does he have
Dubu.
eggs? He has eggs on Morphling.
okay, they're ready to fight. Morphling gets the Shaker form. They've already taken out Dubu, but Dubu, sorry, Sammy in trouble now. The PA pays the price for the kill without the Axe, but he just couldn't make that move. Gunner now with the Axe Morphling turning into a Shaker, just wreaking havoc. Gets a couple of kills as Moon steals the freezing field. Has to find a way maybe to get it off because this Shaker Morphling is going to cause him a lot of problems if he's not careful, but Juggernaut's got an Omni Slash, so Morphling's going to get the hell out of there.
If they traded PA for a Cauldle Beastmaster there, I'd say that's not bad for 4 Zoomers. I'd say that's about even. They forced the BKB out Brawl, but that was the ultimate I expect to see from Brawl. Like he solo killed PA there. And now Samuel was like, I can't play Dodo Hill BKB, guys. So we're gonna see, even though 4 Zoomers, they sort of hit their timing, it got out of sync because PA was the one who died. Yeah. So now he feels like he needs to farm, and Morphling and Shaker are like, oh, I really want to go. And when that
I think
happens,
they'll bring her anyway.
Like, team fighting.
Like, yeah, I think she's gonna like backline this next fight though. Like with the blink, it's so tempting to come in for that pick off to like get you to the BKB gold, you know?
Yeah, I can see it actually. If she just like blurs and daggers in fights, it's probably the right play. Because I mean, it's just this Shadow Fiend's hard to deal with right now. Honestly, they have nothing through BKB. He one-shots Morphling or PA if he catches them, I believe.
That's always my favorite consideration for SF lineups. Is like, what do they have versus BKB? I view it like basically the same as Enigma because it just gives you so much power in the mid game in this exact point.
For sure. I mean, if you just take mid game fights with -1 hero and like, SF, he's just such a weird hero. I don't know. Are they going to Morphling here? He looks dead.
He's morphing back.
He's good at the shift though.
Ocean's nearby, but he's already used the blink, so yeah, he waits for the high ground. He's fine.
That's so impressive. I don't think he can do it if he shifts, right?
Yeah, I mean, SF didn't have ulti there. I thought he was just gonna die to like triple raid stuff. Instead, they find a free Dubus.
Okay, they just got blown up by a Morphling long-range fissure and some, I think, a dagger from Sammy. So
now the next smoke will be the one hunting for the Roche and with the BKB on Sammy.
Saberline's being chased. He gets the Morph strength off again. SF goes for the Requiem. Nice, keeps the PA alive. Sammy has the blur as well. He blinks the high ground. Yep, they used everything. Gunner just needs to find a way in. He's got waveform, so big ultimate's being committed. They're going to turn and fight. Absolute disaster. Blink Echo from Ocean catches Moon on the backlines here. Did not get Saberlight here. The Requiem coming into play. Is this Death Requiem not going to do a whole lot as Moon dies. Husky gets a double kill on a CM.
Well, it took 24 minutes, but the Dazzle pick paid off.
The Lafric Dazzle is coming through. To be honest, there's something interesting about that team fight. So when you play Dota a lot, you're sort of forced by, I don't know, how do you say it? Like, you make enough mistakes that you learn something. Like, when you go on someone, you don't use them, you don't like OD Astro them because it gives the enemy team time to react, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. But there, the correct play was actually for Brau to use the Morphling, so that when he ultis him, Dazzle can't grave him. So if you like think about that fight, if Brau had used him, sorry, was he going PA? Sorry, the PA,
yeah.
And then he outs him from the right side. He's gonna clip the Dazzle before Dazzle can grave, because grave is a really long animation. PA's dead, and that fight's completely different. However, it's not like it's really hard to get out of that habit, because usually like you've played like these games where you're OD and you Astro Sun at their tier 2, and your team's just like, why the fuck did you Astro him? We're all dead because the other team gets 4 seconds to react. And the same thing with Yos. It's just like something they might need to think. Like, Brawl is a really smart player actually. Like, people don't talk to him that much, so they don't realize, but that guy will learn really fast. So like, I think the next fight you'll see something like that just to counter this Dazzle.
Yeah, and as you're saying though, it looks completely counterintuitive because the guy's just sitting there stunned. Like,
yeah, exactly. You're using your Beastmaster Roar. Like, why would you ever do that? And it's like this one niche scenario that like you won't really think about it until you've experienced it.
Well, that thought.
PS BKB now.
Yeah, playing around this mid lane. PA gets lifted, raw, but BKB comes out, and I think Undying have to disengage. Yeah. Fissure on Fissure.
Sammy Boy used a BKB.
Yeah. Not sure if he had to there. With the Fissures backing him up, I believe it was going to be okay.
I mean, I think that's not bad by Sammy Boy, because he's sort of expecting SF to be there. Oh, he's not BKB now.
He's got to blink out. Okay. Oh, Fissure. Now they've caught Tomato. The second Fissure, the waveform in. They want to bring down the Jug, but he's got a healing wood to play with.
Sammy Boy's crazy.
Yep, Bryo, BKB Requiem. This time he gets the perfect timing. No chance for a grave. You mentioned it. Bryo learned his lesson from the last fight. He goes for the Yule's Requiem, so no chance for a grave save. Wait, 4 Zoomers?
They're smoking? Well, they're worried about the Roche.
Oh, they've got Blink Echo. Is this going to catch Undying by surprise? They send out the Necrobox to do some scouting here. Undying need to pop this smoke. They seem to know something's coming their way. Gunner, okay, he loses his smoke. They're going to scout out the Shaker. That's the important hero to see. He goes jumping forward. Sorry, it's the Morphling. He's in Shaker form. Morphling blows up one. That takes out the Coddle. Blink Echo going to come in on Tomato, but he gets lifted immediately. No chance to chain stun the Juggernaut, who does get a Blade Fury off. Gunner going to go on the back lines, look to bring down the SF. SF in a lot of trouble. The defensive Yules is only going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. As 4 Zumbas trying to disengage. Going to get a roar out on the Dazzle who's TPing, so he's going to die as well. Brax, unfortunately, can't stop this Roche from happening, it looks like.
I I don't know. Do they just come back from Sammy Boy? They'll have BKB.
They got the new morph. Yeah.
Oh, on Rubik? Oh man.
Yeah, as in, Morphle just morphed back. He just got the cooldown back on the morph into Shaker, so he's ready to go.
Is it still perma at level 18? I actually don't know because I keep changing this. I can't read it.
I didn't do the math, but I assume by the numbers.
Alright, I can't do math, so you guys will have to tell me after. That fight, those two fights were just really weird, right? Like, Samuboy, I think that original BKB by him was not bad in theory. Like, you get lifted and you're going to Beastmaster Roar and you have a chance to get BKB off. Like, you probably just BKB that and try to get your team to initiate on that while they're going on you, right? But then, like, after he has no BKB, he's playing like he still has BKB, and he literally dies in 0.5 seconds doing 0 damage. And then, 4 Zoomers are like, okay, we have 4 people, we're stronger than them. And they just go destroy them. Like, they get the best pick. It's a really good smoke path. They get behind, they get the Caudal. It's really good play by them. It's just I don't know how it's a weird sequence of events.
Yeah, the fights are getting chaotic. You know, it's nearing the end of the league. Every game, ridiculously important, and now we have
actually, the stress contributes that to a lot. Like,
I think that explains a lot of Bryle's stuff too, right? As you're saying,
especially for Undying, because they've got a real shot, you know, to make it to the major.
For sure, it's like the first game you play, right? It's hopefully not first game of the day, but like it's different. It just feels different when you're playing these games.
Oh. Scan connects. Got a good idea.
Ooh, Titan Server, that's a nice item. The Juggernaut already has the SMY. You saw like Gunnar tried to chain stun with Fissure after the Echo in the Roshan fight, but SMY actually gives a lot of stats for this now. With the Titan Server, it's gonna throw off your timings even more. And like Gunnar is like a Morphling spammer, he plays with Shaker a lot, but he's not a Shaker player, and timing those spells, like, it might feel a bit off, at least the first time you do it.
I'm sure that PA would also love something like a Titan Server, although it has the Orb of Destruction, which is pretty damn good as well.
That is a very nice item for him.
The robe, though. Pass that to somebody.
Surprised Morphling's, he's going for S and Y after Lincoln's. Like, he's not going for BKB at all. I think usually, like, when you're 1 position or 2 position, they build BKB. Like, generally you want a BKB on your hero. So, like, you just press BKB together and you take the fight.
It almost feels like he's trying to tell the other team, like, you guys can stun me and my PA is going to clean you up. It's like he's almost wanting to soak up some stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, I guess the only initiation for him is single target stuff, like Eels, Left, and Beastmaster Roar. So I can see his logic there. They're just hitting Roshan.
I don't think 4 Zoomers just realized, because they've been contesting Roshan for the longest time, and...
yeah, I think they think they're in the triangle.
Yeah. Tomato's about to get this one. Gunner's nearby, but he's going to be too far away.
That's a huge Roshan kill, because honestly, I think 4 Zoomers, they had a good timing there. Like, they have all the items they need to fight right now, but
it's a Beastmaster win right there. That's just Hawks and Boars and units just telling them everything, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they lost their positioning on their high ground, like the top shrine. Like, typically, I think Dire has a slight Roshan advantage just because their shrine is closer, and typically, like, the tier 2s don't fall. Like, they thought they wouldn't do it before taking the shrine, because Radiant does have a tier 2 down, a Dire tier 2 down, so they could have taken a shrine, but instead they just go and kill Roshan. Just casually.
Walk in, taking Roshan. That's Aegis and Cheese for Roshan number 2. So we'll see if Undying are able to force me fights on it. It feels really hard for them to at least do any kind of a high ground push. It feels much more likely that they're going to look to take a fight and get map control based on the lineup they're playing into.
Yeah, I think forcing fights into open is good for them, just because you'll have a vision advantage with Beastmaster. If you go high ground, you sort of lose that type of vision advantage. And you also have, like, I would say they have superior pick-off because of Call to Recall and Beastmaster as well.
Yeah. Your global map presence should be on top. Then again, you also see how fast Gunnar can move across the map.
You're right. I was just thinking that. Like, I saw him jump still 1,000 range after a nerf or something. He's just zooming around. Yeah.
We've entered the vertical split. Radiant top, Dire bottom.
Yep.
But this is just their first tier 2. Meanwhile, they're banging on the tier 3s up top.
Yeah, I feel like it's harder for Zoomers to deal with the map pressure, just because, again, of this Call to Recall and Beastmaster vision. So usually what that means is, like, even if nothing happens, Undying should slightly out-farm their opponent. Just because, like, if you're less scared to push lanes or, like, farm aggressive camps, then you're going to get more of the map than your opponent.
The interesting things about this game is the XP split. It's like the 3, 4, 5 are all really low. in comparison to the 1s and 2s. They're like pulling away pretty hard, you know. Rex is like 15, Ocean's 15.
It's been a rough game for some of these offlanes at times, it feels like.
I mean, Saberlight just can't like play the side without other allies being there anyway. So
I think
trying to go on Tomato here. They catch him alone, and Tomato's just going to lose his Aegis
I
for
mean,
nothing.
they're getting Brax, but this is not worth obviously, unless they don't convert this kill.
Oh, they're going Moon.
Are they going to be able to kill Tomato a second time? Sammy Boy gets Omni Slash, but he disjoints it, and now Tomato could be in a bit of trouble here. But Sammy unable to get his BKB off after the roar. He BKBs now, but he's already too low to fight. Not sure he can re-engage on this one. Blink, Echo, Ocean gets Brile low, but doesn't kill him off. Tomato, meanwhile, on the Morphling, he forces the cheese from Tomato. That's going to keep him alive. Saberlight, he's just stuck on this cliff. He's going to TP out. Nothing to cancel as Ocean doesn't go for any kind of a stop here. Tomato, though, in trouble, surrounded, brought down. Sammy gets the kill, but it's Gunner who is just unstoppable in these team fights. His Morphling is just obliterating everybody.
Honestly, amazing target priority by Gunner. Like, there's an Aegis Juggernaut respawning. A lot of people have tried to like, oh, I'm gonna outplay the spin off Aegis.
Oh, scary stuff.
He's going for the Eos. Nice with the Hex.
This time he got him before the Morph Strength. He
that
blows
was
him up.
With the jab.
That was sick. That must have been shift queued, right?
I doubt it, to be honest. It's
Right.
really
You know
hard
what
to
the
shift
reactions
items.
Gunners had this game though?
And now they baited in more. The supports went in looking for Brile, but they have numbers. They're gonna. It looks like okay. They're not gonna get Husky right away, but I think they still just have it.
super game winning.
And the Hex.
Oh
Brile-
man, that was so boss, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Tip
If we
it
could
up.
tip players, I would tip Brow right now. Like,
New patch,
This-
like Caster's
sorry,
tip.
go ahead.
Oh my
Dude,
God, that
I'm
was
pretty sure this
nasty.
game was like 90-10 before those plays from Brow. He just carried the game right there. He used his, like, his presence of mind is really good there, right? Like, he used his Hex to break the Lincoln so that he
Yeah.
could use him.
Presence of mind and the itemization, just like that. That's
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
why he went for
Really
it, too.
good.
Look at this drop on the
Look at
bottom
this.
by the
He doesn't
DD.
have like bots, use blink, no BKB, useless SF in my pub. There's like real items to keep killing the cores on 4 Zoomers, and I mean I wouldn't say like Undying's necessarily that far ahead at this point. Like it's both, it's I'd say they're favored, but it's winnable for
Look at the
Zoomers
conversion
though.
though. He dropped the bottle by the DD so they could recall in Tomato, give him the DD rune, and now
That's
they're
a big
pushing
play.
structures.
Yep, PA with that buyback, and this is problematic.
Ooh.
SF with this level 25 Hex, the cooldown reduction plus a quickening charm. Anyone who comes near could just get blown up.
Moon got fissure again too.
All right.
I can't believe this all turned off that Scythe pop play. That is.
And those are the plays that win you tournaments, honestly. Like
Well, it's
the
crazy
game
'cause,
is
like-
like slightly even and you just pop off.
It's so hard to make those kind of plays in Dota. This isn't like CSGO where you like pop off an ace and everyone's like, oh, he did it again. It's like that kind of shit doesn't really happen in Dota that often, you know? Not to that degree.
Yeah, I mean I play some CS:GO. It's pretty hard too. Not gonna, oh, they trapped him in there.
He's just trapped, yeah, inside that double fissure. Tomato gets bashed up, and Sammy Boy deletes him. Nice kill. And you get a bash on Saberlight. He needs a bash or a crit. He gets the bash. Okay. One or the other.
That was... Man, 4 Zoomers are such a cool team because they make these like incredibly high skill plays. Like how they killed him was they knew they're gonna give it the rack, so they trapped him in between their 2 fissures in a triangle.
Yeah.
And then
Do you think that was
Gunner,
entirely intentional?
Like
doing
point,
that
yeah,
fissure?
no, it was for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they comms it, but like these players have played with each other enough. Like they know what each other's doing. And then like the leap in from Gunner was like really well timed. Juggernaut could not react to it. I don't know if he had spider legs there and he forgot, or he just got it after being double fissure blocked and he's pissed off. But
I think he just got it. He had the Titan Sliver before.
oh yeah,
so-
you're right. No, because
Yeah.
Titan Sliver seems like the better item, and they do a play like that, and you're like, oh, what the hell? They can do that. Because honestly, that's not something that happened in pubs. Like it's a
Yeah,
very
no one's doing that to you.
very sick play. And
Alright,
Shaker
well-
almost has his level 20 talent too. Someone told me that when you take the Shaker talent, Morphling gets the range on his fissure as well.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's true. It was told to me very angrily because I was Shaker and I did not take the talent.
Yeah, talents are weird. It's like 95% of them don't work in that fashion, but then there are a couple that are exceptions.
Dota's not a real game. Like,
That's
stuff
true.
doesn't actually make sense. And if the
I mean-
tooltip says it, there's only like a 60% chance it's right.
Yeah, that's true. Tooltips and wikis cannot actually be trusted. The only thing you can trust is just making a lobby.
Yeah, you know, I was watching like an EU game, and there's a Lycan. He got illusion escape with the eggs, and he was
I've
biting
seen
his
that.
illusion.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So he just
eh?
has like a perma ulti.
Bryle top. He's setting up. Brax's TP pops the Lotus or the Echo Shell preemptively. He was ready for that SF to make a move. Bryle's just looking to swag on people. He's looking for that solo kill BKB TP out.
I mean, this Lotus Orb, it doesn't prevent Bryle from killing him, but what it does do is it makes Bryle commit to BKB when he's solo. So maybe they'll get the return kill, because he can just BKB hex him into Yos and stuff.
That's what he's got to do.
Alright, they still have this fissure. This allows them to initiate from really far away on Rubik.
Sammy boy is still in the blur. They know roughly where he is. They're going to run in. They get
Good
the
initiation.
Stolen Fissure from Moon. Yep, perfect initiation on the Shaker. He does get the defensive fuels up. Can he blink out? Ocean, he gets Great. He's still alive for now. He gets forced back onto his side of the Fissure. And with Sammy going with the BKB, this could be bad for Undying. They've lost SF. They're going to lose Saberlight as well. Only Brax being killed in return, and Husky's freezing field. Not going to do a lot against the Omni side. He just needs to survive through it. Has a... Oh, no Frostbite for you. He's got a Blade for you. Tomato, Spider Legs to the high ground. Nice escape from him. Is there a stun? Yes, there is. Shaker at the last millisecond stops his TP.
Man, I thought that was a really good initiation for Undying, but that was really
Sammy
good
boy.
teamfight execution from 4 Zoomers.
Yeah, Samuel came right up from behind, and he jumped from the high ground right to the low ground and just helped blow up that SF. And then he immediately abyssaled, I think, onto the Beast after.
That should help.
And then how about the Omni Slash going onto the CM? You know, there's some value still, right? And that big armor. Tanked up quite a few shots for that.
True.
Took
Okay,
it off to
Roshan.
Sammy. It's the only reason he lived.
So is this the timer? Is this Roshan respawns in 1 second here? Or is it can
Yes.
start?
Yeah, no, this is instant.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and
Undying
both
boys.
couriers
You
are just
know?
hanging out in there.
They're just chilling, huh? But does Braxis not see Roshan? I think it's too far away, because they would do Roshan if it saw it.
Oh yeah, it's out of range. I just
Yeah,
if you go
he
to dire
doesn't see
vision.
it,
It
I
doesn't.
think.
He doesn't see it.
Because there's no way they wouldn't just pop this Roshan.
Yeah.
They have Orbit Destruction, Desolator, and Over Corrosion.
Yeah, that
That's
is really
big.
weird.
Because PA. Yeah, like exactly.
No,
PA
this is
Morphling
worst
takes
case, because honestly, like, if you think it's not up, you just play differently, right? Oh, here we go, they see it.
Okay.
Braxis,
They gotta-
guys, it just spawned, guys.
They're still going for the Rex.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't
Going for
even know if
Rex
it's
is
worth
really
in this
risky.
Rex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have time to still get this Roche though?
They have
Everyone's
Fisher
back
still
alive.
on, as well.
It dies really fast. I think
He's PA.
they should go for the kills. Like, if they got a ward in the Raiden, like, Raiden have to smoke and run there right away, right?
Yep.
So,
They're
like, they
TPing
have
a tier 1 tower.
They're just going for it, though.
Yeah. They're TPing the tier 1 tower. They're going to summon some Hawks, send out some couriers, do whatever they can to get vision, but this Roche is dying way too damn fast. It's Roche 3. It's a refresher. Okay, blink in from Saberlight. Does he steal anything? He gets the refresher. He uses it. He's got another roar. Not sure about this one. He may just go down before he can use anything. He gets the roar on the graved up Sammy Boy PA. Charging in is the Morphling. Stolen. Oh, sorry. Echo Slime comes out from Ocean. Does a lot of damage as Husky. With the Blink Freezing Field is going to force him back. And Gunner's just waving it after Bryle. Defensive Yules. Can he blink away from this one? No, he gets insta-stunned. SF goes down without buyback. Great play from 4 Zoomers.
That worked out really well for them. Honestly, that was better than if they spawned the Roshan right away, right? Because Undying thought they could fight him, and they just got lured into a super bad fight. Like, Saberlight tried to go for the big plays, but the timing just worked out. Like, if he was there 1 second earlier and not on EU ping, he probably could have stolen more than just a refresher.
Yeah, true. Oh, this puts you in a bad spot now, though.
Ooh, Spell Prism found though for Radiant. That could be pretty
They
happy
both have
SF.
spell prisms now.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Yeah.
items for both teams.
Gunner's already got that nasty item.
Yeah. The item, it does feel a bit stronger than the other tier 4s, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll say.
And that one gets fought over in my games.
Yes.
That's, you know, it's whoever grabs
the thing
that
is,
thing.
like, if that item gave no stats, it would still be pretty good. But the stats it gives are actually really good.
Yeah, they're
like,
insane.
even carries want that. Just even if they only have a BKB, like, you want that on most carries, just for, like, your BKB cooldown.
Yeah, it'd be like if Timeless Relic just gave stats, too.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why?
There's never a situation where it's bad. Whereas I feel like a lot of the other tier 4 items is more
For sure.
situational. Like Illusionist Cape, you just might not have a hero that uses it. Well, to the high ground we go. 4 Zoomers, they may have lost both top and mid lanes, but they are now the ones pushing back, forcing high ground. Beastmaster split pushing bottom, but I just don't think it's possible really to fight into this Aegis morph.
Like, he might be able to force him back just because this is essentially Megas. The top Rex is 25 HP, so it's like, oh, no, he's coming back. He doesn't believe he can compete with the speed.
Yeah, four Zoomers themselves are going to be the ones to get Megas first, it looks like.
Surprising. They have recall too, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard decision to make, just because it's so easy for you to die now.
Yeah.
Like,
Undying,
when the game gets its late.
They're going on the backlines here, or at least it looks like they're smoking around the side, but you know, four Zoomers not going to stick around.
I really like this from four Zoomers. Like, did they see the Beastmaster and base there? I'm not too sure what they saw, but if you don't see a Beastmaster hitting bottom, like, you don't really have a purpose in pushing this bot right now, right at this moment, you know? Like, you can delay it by 30 seconds, get all the other lanes in, look for a good smoke opportunity like they're doing now. Oh, SF, Fissure. Good reflexes by Bryle.
Bryle!
Overcommit.
Yep, jumps into a Hex here. There is a refresh, but I don't think they want to overcommit onto Gunner because he has got the Aegis, so Hex will come back up very soon. Nothing like a 12-second cooldown Hex. He does?
Poggers?
Yeah.
That was new to me, don't worry, Aui.
What happened to the triple adaptive strike? Oh, going in.
That's a shard now, I believe.
Gunner gonna be forced away from out there. Just slow roll and slow siege in this one. They get the tower, they back off, and they've still got a good minute and a half left on this Aegis.
I can't get about how tanky isn't that Shaker form. I mean, there's that value in the SNY you're talking about. I mean, that's just insane.
Did you see it? When he uses his second spell as Shaker, he does like 1500 damage or something.
Yeah.
Look at this. 1800 damage. Balance.
Okay, Bryle goes in, looking for a BKB Wrecker, will force the PA BKB, so he doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and PA's just going to turn and look to bring him down. PA, though, doesn't have a blur, he's getting Omni Slash, gets away from it, get Disjoints on a Gunner instead, and they've killed off the backlines. The PA is dead. Husky, with the help of Ocean, is looking to bring down this Jug, but the status resist, allowing him to stay alive. The Healing Ward is on the high ground, it's healing up Tomato, he's turning this one, and he's going to spin him down. Ocean is the last who's going to fall. The Morphling is Audi, or,
Moon?
oh, just gets out in time. Wow, that Jug lived through it all. The Healing Ward on the high ground, healing him while the CM tried to freezing field him down. And they hold their high ground.
So in that fight, SF BKB Hex used the PA, ulted him, and PA just pressed BKB and took 0 damage, and then they crushed the fight.
So, yeah.
Dota's a weird game sometimes.
I mean, there was 8,400 damage done by the Jug and only like 1,800 done by SF.
8,400.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
It was actually only 40 less than the Zoomers did.
Alright.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
And Omni Slash with these Beastmaster auras and everything is a pretty good spell, I gotta say.
Let's get the leveler, too.
And this game is swinging super hard.
Yeah, we're
Team fights are like, they're completely execution based, it looks like. I do feel like it's like sort of lazy from four Zoomers, you know? Like if the enemy has 5 enemy heroes sitting at their tier 3, like it's hard to break. Like it's like, I don't want to call it lazy because that just sounds like really negative. It's like, it's an easy mistake to make, you know? Like it depends how long it's on your Aegis, but they still had a little bit. Like unless they thought they had to force it right then and there, like when you're ahead, you should take the best fight opportunity that you think you will get. And it's very rare that the best fight opportunity for you is running up to the high ground versus buybacks and high ground advantage.
Well, especially when they just showed it by leaving the last time the Beastmaster.
Exactly, right?
You know,
like they know they're
know.
all in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think their Aegis was running out, so I can see their like line of thought.
Oh, he's under a ward.
They have a ward on him.
By himself.
They got him.
Fissure.
Can they chain it?
Oh, no. Bryle couldn't quite chain it. Gets away.
They needed the second Fissure in between, but I guess Ocean couldn't reach.
Yeah.
Nah, this Morphling's just too fast for him, I think.
Oh, Sammy boy, thoughts? Thoughts?
I like
is
it.
Is this the item?
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's time.
Especially if you can have the buyback to go with it. Like, sure, you're going to buy back and likely not have the rapier, but he's still a... I mean, it seems like he's just saving to buy the rapier and have buyback right now. He's close to having the gold for both.
Oh, Arcane Blink SF. Let's go. I guess it's not a huge deal at this point when considering the BKBs you're dealing with, but still a crazy good item on this hero.
Yeah, I think it's really good, actually, because it's really hard for him to use BKB ulti summon right now, right? Because they have BKB on PA, and like you don't really want to do a Morphling. So if you can just go in off a lift or something, like that comes out. It comes out in 0.7 seconds or like 0.8 seconds or something.
Oh yeah, that's
it's like really hard to react to.
Yeah, so like now you don't have to worry about timing at all. You're just letting it rip.
Pretty much. I mean, he has Refresher too, right? So like.
Yeah.
Although I will say, like the first time I bought this item, I missed my Yos combo.
That makes sense.
Definitely not
yeah.
the same for Brio, but like it's actually surprisingly hard.
Oh, it's like totally different timing. I would not even try the Yules. I'd just be looking for roars and telekinesis, as you said. All right, 30 seconds till we find out the timing on Roche. That's going to be so clutch for this game. It's like whoever figures that one out. And that's going to be one of everything, too.
Sammy Boy just bought an Axe Scepter.
Oh.
Which could be kind of cool. The low cooldown against the Jug Omni Slash.
Yes,
it's really good this game. It's also like when you play against these squishy supports, the eggs is just even better, right?
Yeah, the refresh.
Yeah, I mean that, and like you're always blurred. So like a lot of the times on Rubik, what you're doing is you're waiting for the enemy hero who's supposed to kill you to show before you do anything. Because if it goes the other way, they're just gonna BKB and kill you, right? Like you're a high priority target. Now PA will never show unless he's like killing a core, which is equally bad to Rubik just dying.
Man, poor Shaker playing with an illusionist cape. Like, not the worst time because it does give you some scouting and vision, but
Actually, he can send it to Morphling anywhere to morph to it too, which is sort of a nice interaction.
Okay.
Go on ball a bit.
gone there. Yeah, he's just looking to come in and poke at the racks. Doesn't quite get the range racks.
You know, during a siege too, you can hide it behind. So like if you die, that's
Yeah,
actually...
exactly.
Ah.
No, part of the counter to Shaker Morphling is you wait till the morph gets low and you all into Shaker, and you Eternal Envy scream into the mic, Shaker's dead, go fight. In 10 seconds. And then your teammate goes in and dies before the 10 seconds are up, and you're like, okay, I guess we lost. But it's actually a really good counter, and the Illusionist Cape definitely can help with that.
Just more mobility, okay? Tomato gonna have the Abyssal Blade now.
Just a touch.
So,
Oh, do we have
down
the eggs out for
mid
Caldo? That's I don't know if it's fight changing, but every time I see the spell, it destroys, so it can't be that bad. Ooh, debating mid?
Yep. Shaker illusion. I mean, at this point, they know
Mood
these
won't
Shaker
walk
illusions.
something, right? So the game's just gonna come down to this next Roshan, most likely. It doesn't guarantee a win, but I think it's a 4th Roshan, right? It's gonna be Eggs Refresher?
It's both.
Okay. Yeah, Beast, you're right. Beastmaster got the refresher.
Lift on PA, Sammy Boy gets Abyssal, gets Grave from far away, but the Roar is there. He's still he needs to get off this cheese. It's going to be close when the Grave wears off. He gets the cheese off, still has a BKB, but he didn't pop his BKB. Blink away, he jumps in, takes out the Coddle. Sammy gets Graved again. Sammy is just still alive. Brat's just keeping him alive. A third Grave! Sammy just can't be brought down. How is this balance, you might be hearing from far away as they go charging in. Sammy's getting low again from the spin. The E-Blade, the Grave, a 4th Grave! He is just immortal as Tomato now in trouble. Sammy goes blinking in, and Brax, the savior from afar, has kept him alive. They charge in on Moon. Another Grave for good measure. Brax just showing off at this point. And 4 dead. They're going to force a Roche. They're drawing lines down mid. I think they know a lot of these heroes don't have buyback.
Saber has to go for the steal here. He has to steal all 4 items on EU ping. Let's go. They have 2 fissures to stop him as well.
Yep.
That was like, that impact in that fight from Bax was basically the equivalent of what we saw from Brio in the top lane. And if you're gonna last pick a hero, like that's what you want to see, right?
They know Beastmaster's nearby now. They saw him throw some axes, and he's actually just going to back off entirely. May get caught here. He's going to run into this blurred up PA in a second.
Oh, Courier's coming in to steal stuff? Nope.
He's just taking his buildings.
Saberlight, he's got no TP. It's coming out in the Courier. Sammy Boy might see him as... Jeez, that was so close.
Yeah, I mean... Sorry, go ahead.
Who got the eggs?
That's a good question.
Was it... Shakers doesn't have an egg? I'm not sure.
Was Morph holding eggs and he just ate it? Is that what just happened?
Maybe.
I think I must
you
have
get the
been it,
4K gold back, right? When you do that?
Yeah.
I think he would have had more gold if he did that, so I'm not sure.
Oh, wait, or is that one with That's one with Alchemist, right?
Saberlight barely kept alive with the
actually
Ignis.
I'm too stupid for this game now.
Yeah, I hear ya.
At least you can sell your eggs. I mean, for Alchemist for sure, I'm not sure. Anyways, 5 seconds for the Juggernaut. They're gonna have to fight this. They have no Omnislash for 20 though.
They've got 4 alive here. We'll see if it gets forced or not. Gunner does have the Aegis in the front line, so he's just holding the push steady. Constantly going in, using that totem to just chunk away at these tier 4 towers. Blade being used as Requiem is there. They're looking to go on the PA and they burst down Sammy Boy. He's got no buyback. What happened? Oh, he used in the last fight and now they're chasing. Have they turned this game? They visually disengage. Blake Echo! Oh, Ocean! Annihilation! He absolutely annihilates the SF, forces an immediate buyback from the Beastmaster. What more can they get? They're getting pulled back in. Husky flickers away. Blinking from Moon. He blinks into a double fissure, and now Moon might just get blown up. He has the Ghost Step to keep him alive a little bit longer, but he is donezo as Gunner bursts him down with an adaptive strike. A bit too aggressive from Moon, and the chase is on. Husky looking to set something up. Yeah, they need it. Can they find it? Roar on the backlines. They've called Brax. They know this Dazzle Grave is causing so many problems, so they bring down the save. Dazzle going to buy back immediately. They take out the Shaker as well. This is looking okay for Undying. They're holding for now. Gunner on his own doesn't have much in the way of backup. Has to just jump the hell out of there. Oh, Gunner. He's turning and fighting now. I think he knows that backup has arrived. Husky shows up. Tomato's just going to spin TP, and they've lost the Coddle. They're going to lose Saberlight as well. Gunner just playing with his food at this point, and it's all up to the Jug. He's got an Omni Slash, but I don't think there's a whole lot he can do 1 versus 4. We're going to see what it is.
Get the leveler in.
They're going to focus the throne, and Undying are going to lose a very back-and-forth game 1.
Wow.
Yeah,
was,
I think oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry,
I
I
was
didn't
gonna
interrupt
say,
you. It's
it
so hard
doesn't-
to cast online. Like, there's a little bit delay.
fine.
Casting.
That's what we're here for. Yeah, I don't know. The graph doesn't do it justice, that's for sure. In terms of like, who was up and who was down, there were definitely moments throughout this game where it went back and forth. But I guess the Zoomers were holding a pretty decent edge ever since they got the Ags on the Morphling.
Yeah, I think that game, it really just came down to the clutches, right? Like, you saw, that was one of the games where I feel like there are a lot more individual plays than most of the games I see. Like, a lot of Dota these days is like how you frame your teamwork, so how you frame like your game plan and how you make decisions based on that and your execution as a team. But that one had like I can name like 3 or 4 team fights that were just like, okay, I guess he's just 1v5ing this fight, like just casual. It's like a SF, it's a Dazzle, it's a Morphling. You don't really, I mean, you expect the SF and Morphling, but why is it Dazzle 1v5ing after?
It's crazy we're hyping with Dazzle because it felt like one of those games where there was a Shaker on one side, a Rubik on the other. We didn't actually see the biggest game out of those two as you'd maybe expect.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't, like, no one played poorly. It's just these standout performances. Like, they swung the game so hard by both teams, and it's really impressive to see that from these players. It's props to them.
Yeah, I just hope we
Definitely
get
a good
more
sign.
games like that. Honestly, like that's as you said, that's a very rare thing to see, and we got multiple fights with it. So.
Well, we've got a game 2. Hopefully a bit more of that. We're going to head to a quick break and then hear what our panel has to say about that thriller.